Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video I am doing kind of an extension of my video that I posted on Instagram. If you don't follow me over there, you should. I did a video on transition braids from a pull-through braid. So basically what we're doing in this video, I'm just going to redo those and talk a little bit more about it so you guys can understand what's going on and why I chose those braids to be transition braids. So let's get right into it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with brushing out my sister's hair. It is very tangly, so this is definitely going to be fast forward. Alright, so to start out with this Dutch braid, or pull-through Dutch braid transitioning video, I'm going to start with the pull-through braid, obviously. So I'm just going to brush all of her hair back. I'm going to grab an elastic that I need to open. Struggling. Okay, they're just a Walgreens brand. I got big ones and small ones. I'm going to take a section here at the temple and go straight back. For her, it's kind of a thick ponytail. On Instagram, I did it on my mannequin, so it's not as long, not as thick, so this is going to be a little bit different, but same concept. So I'm just going to secure this in elastic. Not that perfect because I am making this look a little more mature, just like I did on Instagram. You have a question, Carolina?
What does that mean?
Well, by mature, what I mean is like if I were doing this for a little kid, I would keep it nice and tight on every single section. Here I'm going to kind of pull it apart a little bit and make it look a little bit softer. So I'm just going to do that now. Kind of tug very gently.
Does this make me look like a soft girl?
On this ponytail, sure. But not so much that you have a random section just like looking really wonky. You want it to look intentional. That's the whole idea of this.
It's the whole set.
Yes. And then from there, can you open the small elastics for me? I'm going to hair wrap this ponytail just because it's the first one on the top. I want it to look extra nice. So I'm going to take a section from the bottom, not too thick, especially since her hair is really long. You could have done that from the beginning. Especially since her hair is really long, this will wrap several times. If it's shorter, I would say get a thicker section so you know you'll cover the elastic fully. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this is kind of weird, but I usually just kind of stretch it out and put it on my finger while I wrap the ponytail. So there are several ways to finish this hair wrapping. My favorite part is just securing it with another elastic just because it's most secure. It's the way that you'll know for sure you're not going to ruin it or mess it up or make it look sloppy. So basically I just hold the strand that I was wrapping around with my thumb, and then I take the elastic twice around the ponytail. Really careful not to pop it or to get any hair stuck in it.
That would hurt.
Yes, it would. And then, as you can kind of see the elastic there, you just kind of tighten it up and then pull the hair that you wrapped around the elastic down. And then you'll see how that kind of covers up this second elastic. I'm kind of struggling a little bit. Just kind of mess around with it until it fully covers the elastics. Of course, when I'm filming a YouTube video, this is when it malfunctions.
That's really fun.
Okay.
We can edit that out later.
Yeah, no. You get authenticity on this channel. For my 14 subscribers. Okay, so there is the first section ponytail of your pull through braid. You can kind of tug and pull as much or as little as you want. You can do a lot or not at all. So our goal now is to do enough ponytail loops to have 3 pull through loops on her head. Now the reason for that is I was in an art class and my teacher was telling me how we were doing like this art project where we wanted it to look like there was a lot coming off the paper. So we were doing flowers and I had like 4 on my sheet and she's like, I want you to have an odd number. And I was like, well, why do you want me to have an odd number? And that's because it makes it look like there's more going on. So it looks more pleasing to the eye. It looks like they're spilling over. So that kind of went into my hairstyling. I realized that when I had an equal number of loops on the head, it just looked wrong. Like there's no reason why, it just looked wrong, and I put an odd number and it looked way better. So the point is you want to make sure you either have 3 or 5. I mean, if you have 5, I think you shouldn't have any more than that. And obviously you don't want just 1. So we're doing 3 for today. And since I have a model, I'm going to have her hold the ponytail. If I didn't have a model and I was doing it on a mannequin, or if I was doing it for a client, I usually wouldn't ask my clients to hold it, so I would just clip it out of the way like this. You want to make sure you're really careful with clipping it out of the way because that could ruin what you did here with the ponytail. But, so we have someone here. I can have her hold it. And we're going to do our next ponytail. I'm going to miss. Okay.
Oh no.
Alright, so now
I'm going to do another ponytail. You made my AirPod fall out of my ear!
okay.
Now I can't listen to music.
So we're doing a ponytail underneath that, like this. Again, I think the main thing... Ooh, there's a knot.
You just get the AirPod off the
One
ground.
second.
That's expensive.
Why do you have a random braid in your hair?
Is there a braid in my hair?
There's a braid in her hair.
There's a braid in my hair.
There's
Okay,
a
okay.
braid in your hair.
Where did that come from? Oh, it's from the last hairstyle that you did. I guess I was not that thorough taking it out.
No, you weren't. I don't understand how you can take the rest of it out and not that part, the bottom of it.
I mean, hey, I've been living pretty okay.
Okay, whatever.
How? How?
Let's go ahead and take out this braid for her from a week ago.
Was that a week ago?
Please tell me there's not an elastic in this.
No, it was like 2 days ago.
It was not 2 days ago.
3 days ago.
I'm just not going to argue with you anymore. Okay, so you don't want the ponytail to be exactly perfect, but you also want to make sure you don't have a bunch of baby hairs that get stuck in the elastic. You can also use regular, like, small hair ties rather than elastic, but I just like elastics better because you can just tear them out when you're done, and it's not, the taking out process is not as long. So that's what we're going to do our next ponytail. Kind of tighten it, and then tug on the sides. Make it look very, very intentional. You're not wanting this to look perfect, nice and messy. I'm also using her natural hair texture, so that makes it look a little bit more lived in and natural. I'm going to take this top section, I'm going to look at it and see if there's any more tugging and pulling that needs to be done to kind of cover this part line here of the second ponytail. Alright, and then now I want to make sure that they're right underneath each other. And we're going to split this top ponytail in half. So you can see the middle ponytail. Her hair is long enough that you can just leave it over her shoulders. And then you're going to pull the ponytail in through the middle. And you're going to hand her the ponytail. Or if you don't have someone to hold it, you'd be clipping it out of the way. So next what you're going to do is you're going to take another elastic. And you're going to take that ponytail that you split through.
Tiene mi teléfono.
Yes.
What are you doing with it?
I'm filming a YouTube video.
Right now.
Yes.
And I'm interrupting it.
Yes.
Right now.
Want to say more stuff?
Yeah.
Say it louder.
Hello. Goodbye. You're welcome.
Okay.
I think it's
That was my dad, in case you guys didn't, pick up on that. So, Next, we're going to, with the ponytail that we split through, we are going to take some hair and add it into this ponytail here, like so, and then create another ponytail. So at this point, it's really important to notice, you want to make sure you're not any farther than the middle of the ear, because this here, the rest of the hair here is going to be split into 2 more sections in order to have 2 more loops. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this part. And we're going to secure this with an elastic. I'm actually surprised that these are actually holding your hair.
I'm so excited
Why?
to watch The Bachelor.
Oh.
I'm so
Comment below
excited.
if you guys watch The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Can't wait to see what's happening with Madison and
Ow.
who's the other girl, Hannah Ann?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think she's a bad person though. I think she's just
young.
yeah.
She's young. Also, like I'm just rooting for Madison. I just like Madison. So
They both have really pretty eyes.
yes, I love Madison's eyelashes. They're so freakishly long and it's beautiful. All right, so next we have our first loop. I pulled this ponytail. One thing that you don't want to miss is like pulling the hair that's right here, because it's really easy to pull the hair here on the sides, but when this part is super tight too, it doesn't blend well. It looks unfinished. So you want to make sure you pull on that too. So next we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to split the top ponytail in half. Make sure it's as even as possible.
Like the hiccups.
And then, nice. And then pull the ponytail underneath through the middle. Kind of twist it a little bit. And then have your model hold it.
I'm the model. That's me.
That's her!
That's me!
And then we're going to do another ponytail here. So I'm going to take half of that hair like I mentioned before. Half of the hair that's hanging down. I'm going to secure the ponytail.
Are you doing 3 or 4?
3. Remember, we talked about odd numbers.
I wasn't listening.
She wasn't listening.
I was spinning.
You were spinning.
I was spinning.
What do you mean you were spinning?
Was I not spinning? I was spinning in my head.
She was spinning in her head, everybody. Alright, now you're going to just kind of tighten this a little. Tightening it when it's loose actually gives it a little more messiness too, so that's good. And then I like to pancake every other loop just so that they stay tight and in their place, but then you also get them at a point where it's easy to pancake them without them like ruining other loops, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to start from the outside and then go a little bit in the inside until I get every hair equally fluffed out, as big as I possibly can. Like I want this braid to be huge.
Can you see my hands?
No, you cannot see your hands.
See my hands now?
Yes.
Got them.
All right. I'll go this way really quick. I am kind of doing this sideways, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit crooked, but yes. Same with my Instagram videos. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like, I can actually film a video on my setup if you want that. It's very, very not good, but it works. So, yes. Anyways, we're doing the same thing. I split this ponytail in half. I'm bringing this one up through the middle. I'm having her hold it, and this is going to be our last pull-through loop for this.
My right arm is going to be
Moment in
really
time.
strong at the end of this.
Nice.
This is training.
And then I'm going to pick up the rest of the hair, tie it together with the loops, and there we go. We have our 3 pull-through loops, and we're going to start focusing on our transition braids. Okay, so the first transition braid that we're going to do is a Dutch fishtail braid. Now, the reason why I want it to be a Dutch fishtail braid is because the idea is to have it a good blending transition. So you want this braid to blend well with the Dutch braid. And you can see that if you do, first of all, you have a ponytail that's up here and down here. And if you start by splitting this in the middle, I'm just kind of show you what you don't want to do. and you start taking this like hair from the top and crossing it over, you're not really joining the ponytails together because you're not getting hair from the bottom ponytail, you're just getting hair from the top ponytail. And then as you go farther along, which let me just kind of hurry and just go farther along for you guys. Just kind of becomes very uneven, and you can see how like it's a very thin top and it starts getting thicker. The idea is to start it thick and then go thinner so that it, like, again, it blends with the pull through braid. So as you're doing this, let me go a few more stitches down. Okay, so you can see here now that even if I pancake this, you're still going to have this kind of awkward gap in between the pull through part and the braid itself. Now, of course, if you want to do it this way, do it. Like, whatever look you're going for, go for it. But in this specific video, we're talking about good blending transition, so the Dutch just goes better with a Dutch pull through braid. So what we're going to do is we're going to split the ponytail. Well, we're going to pretend this is one whole ponytail, and we're going to go right down the middle. And then we're going to start creating a Dutch fishtail. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a section from this side and bring it down into the middle of the other side. We're going to take a section from the right and bring it under and to the left. And then take a section from the left, under to the right. We're going to do this over and over and over again. So from the right, under and to the left, and then a section from the left, under and to the right, section from the right, under and to the left, section from the left, under to the right. What we're going to do is a few stitches down. Also, the smaller the sections you take, the more intricate and fishtail-like the braid will look like. It'll look really pretty. So I'm going to take about medium-sized sections, not too thick, but also not too like extremely microscopic. We're just going to keep on going. And about here is when I'm going to start pancaking. So the trick to pancaking a fishtail is to really try to go for each individual stitch of the fishtail braid. That gives you really nice, neat pancaking. You have a lot of control of where those strands are going to go. So you don't have a random stitch just going kind of wacko. And then when I finish those stitches, I'm going to bring one stitch over here just so I can switch my hand placement. And we're going to do the same on this side. So I'm going to just pull apart the few sections that we've braided. And you can see how nicely it blends already because of the way that you can pull it apart as a Dutch fishtail. So we're just going to keep on going like so. And then do some more stitches and then just do the same thing over and over and over again, all the way to the bottom of the hair. Oop, wrong side.
Do you like it?
Like what? Let's show the people.
I cut it.
She cut the elastic band thing. Show you the front. Look how pretty. It's great. All right, so I'm kind of reaching an end here. There's a little bit of some different length of hair, and I don't want any layers sticking out. So I got about 2, maybe 3 inches left of my braid, and I'm going to secure with an elastic. We don't do ASMR on the channel. Alright, so I'm going to kind of pancake this bottom section. I don't know if you can really see what I'm doing. Do my best with this setup I have here. Alright, so now you're going to go back and kind of fluff around where you feel like you need some more fluffing. And there is your first transition braid. Sit up. There you go. So look side. There's the pull through into a fishtail. There you go. That's the first.
I want to see it first.
What are you going to look at? The camera. You're not going to see your hair.
I'm looking at the front. That is very much adequate.
Oh, we're looking at the front. Let's even it out a little more. There we go. That's better. On to the next one.
We're doing more.
Turn around. Oh, Ashley,
Actually,
turn
they want to see
around.
my face.
What?
They want to see my face. They want me to talk to them.
Look at how beautiful her fishtail is.
Oh, that's the mannequin. I thought that was
She
part of
looks
my head.
so good. So good. Okay, so the next transition braid we're doing is...
You didn't tell me what we. He's putting me on the spot. A French fishtail 5-strand.
This child did not even listen to what we were talking about. Comment below why you don't use a French fishtail. Turn around.
What?
What? Okay, so we're just gonna undo this braid and go into the next one. Okay, so I'm gonna have my model here hand me elastics while I do this. Hand me a small elastic.
It's not a part of the contract.
There's no contract. Hand me a small elastic, please. Okay, so since she guessed wrong, we're just gonna go ahead and tell you guys. We're doing an elastic braid next, which if you saw my YouTube video or my Instagram, IGTV, you will totally know that. So what we're gonna do is actually, now that I see it a little bit more, I'm going to actually tug this ponytail as much as I can up to the head so that this elastic braid is a little bit more even. So we're gonna take a section from the left, lay it over shoulder, and a section from the right. And as you can see, I have the elastic ready. I'm going to pull them over in front of the ponytail, like that. And then I'm going to stop moving
I'm going to stop moving.
to secure them together. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to put your fingers right in between that loop, and you're going to flip the ponytail basically. So you're going to bring the ponytail between your fingers, and you're going to flip the ponytail just like so. And then I like to pull it, tighten it, and then pancake it. So you're going to pull it apart really nicely, like so. And then once you pull it apart, you can also pull it back up. And you can see it almost looks like a kind of like a little heart there. The more you pull it up, and then you also want to kind of play around with it and see like the more and more. Stop. Go.
Don't look at my hair.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the more you pull it apart and like pull it up, the more it blends and gets up closer to the pull through braid. And like we've been talking about, that's kind of what you want because you want it to be blending well with the pull through braid. So we're gonna do that again. We're gonna take a section from the outsides, so one from the left and one from the right, and then I'm going to bring them here together. Elastic, please.
You want to slap me?
Thank you. I really do, but I'm not going to because we're on YouTube. That's the only reason why. And then we're going to secure these together.
But you want to slap me now?
No.
Nope.
Okay, please actually sit still. Okay, so that ponytail got ruined. Who wonder why? Okay, so now again we're gonna take our fingers through the middle and we're going to flip this ponytail like so. Oh no, there's a lot of hair tangled up in it, but that's fine. Let's bring her pain. She didn't hear me. Okay, so now again we're going to tighten it up a little. We can always, you know, adjust and move this one up as much as you need to. We're going to pancake this guy. Pancake, pancake, pancake. And tighten it up again. At one point you'll be seeing that like you kind of start covering the elastics. You can see, you can't see the elastic of the, wow, you can't see me. You're covering me, the elastic. I'm so not funny. Okay, so you kind of cover that first
Yeah.
elastic, right? Shut up. Okay, so
But you're really pretty.
I hate her sometimes.
You love
So
me.
again, you're gonna take a section from the outside on the left, and then a section from the outside on the right. And you're going to join them together in the front of the ponytail, and you're going to secure it together with a small elastic. So basically, this elastic braid goes all the way down the pull-through braid, or all the way down the ponytail, I'm sorry. As long or as short as you want it to go. So again, we're going to pull,
I'm making it long.
we're going to flip it. We're going to tighten it.
Are you making it long?
Please, yeah, whatever you want. Short, I want it short.
I don't know.
I thought you were asking me if I'm making the video long, and I'm like, bro, you already know that question, or that answer.
Yes. I think. Oh my god! Don't do that. Those are my
Stop
earlobes.
moving.
Those are my. Stop it. I know
Please
that
stop
you.
moving.
I know that you said something, but I can't hear what you're saying.
Okay. So there are your first 3 loops. Now what I like to do is I like to add a little bit of my big sexy hairspray, Get Layered. This is my favorite hairspray just because it's very misty. So it's really great for braids because it's very light and you don't get big blobs of jet hairspray on your braid. So
Your eyelashes look really good. They're like,
Okay.
They're like, whoo.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna put a little bit of hairspray in this just to keep them in place, control some flyaways from all the flips, and just have, yeah, kind of like I said, just keep it in place so they don't keep moving around.
Can I hold it? Can I see it?
Alright, and now next we're going to do the next thing, and I'm just gonna fast forward through this too because you guys get it. It's pretty simple. You just get sections, tie together, flip it. So, stop.
Sexy.
Okay. Oh, one thing I need to mention as well with this braid. You want to make sure at one certain point that you're not going so far from the side that you're missing a ton of hair from the back side of the braid, because what that's going to do if at one point when you get that, the hair is going to like go across the braid itself and it's going to look really bad. And I don't know if any of that made sense. Just make sure you get the hair from the back too before the side.
Look at this picture I took. Do I look,
Nice.
Do I look pretty?
Yes. Put your head down. Okay, so now we're kind of at the end. I don't know if you got to see me how I wrap that end right there. You do kind of need a little bit of length at the end to be able to wrap it like I did. You can kind of see how there's still a little bit of a section there that's kind of annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bobby pin. I'm actually going to take my pink pewter magnetic bracelet. Put my bobby pins on there. Turn around.
They're full spin.
Wow, annoying. Okay, so now what I'm kind of going to do is I'm going to pull a little bit, fluff out. If that doesn't work, I can take a bobby pin and kind of just like put it in the middle of that loop and just put it back up into an elastic that's there. And that'll just assure that it stays in that spot. So I'm going to take it right there, put it into that weird loop, and then stick it right up. Right there. And then you can see there's no bubble between there. There's no space. Okay, so now do kind of like a little head this way, head that way, chin down.
Want to keep touching my chin?
There you go.
Can I spin that?
That's kind of how the elastic braids looks. Very beautiful. I love this braid. It is time consuming, so if you don't have time to do a very long braid, I would not recommend doing this specific transition, but it is very beautiful and obviously very secure too.
Want to test that theory out?
No. Actually, yes.
What do you want to do?
Take the stage.
Give me that.
What?
The bunny. What do I do?
Oh my gosh, no!
Oh no. Ooh.
Turn around. Well, you gotta squat. Would you look at that?
Did it stay in?
It stayed right where it was.
Now I have a headache.
Awesome. Okay, so we got the elastic braid out. It actually did take a little bit to take out. There we go. So the elastic braid is a really nice option too if you want something a little bit different than a pull through braid, but that is what we're going to be finishing off with, just finishing the pull through braid all the way through. It did take a little bit to take out the elastic braid. I mean, obviously there's a ton of loops that go into it, but it's super beautiful. It's super, you know, sturdy, just like the pull through braid. So if you want a different option, I would recommend that. I would also tell you to cut out the elastics from an elastic braid. It will take you literally 2 hours to take it out if you try to save every elastic, and it'll probably be painful for whoever is experiencing the demolishing of the braid. So, yeah. Okay. So we're going to go back into finishing the pull-through braid. Now, one really important thing that you want to keep note of is to make sure you attempt making all your loops look the same size. And once you get it off of the head, like we are right now, it does get a little bit harder to do that. So we're going to split it in half. We're going to pull that there. Can you hand me an elastic, please?
Oh, big one, right?
Yes. And she can hold it, or if you have length like this, at this point you can kind of bring it over. You want to make sure that you kind of, if that's where you want your loop size, don't tug it to make it tighter, because that's when it's going to make your loop smaller and then your braid's going to look really uneven. So I'm going to secure this ponytail, like so.
Yeah, that's why I need to bring home food.
And then you can kind of see, okay, maybe you're going to first you want to pull and pancake the loop before you decide whether or not you're going to make it smaller. So it's always better to put the elastic a little bit lower than you think you need it before, you know, you put it too high, and then it'll be really hard to fix that part. So I'm looking at it now. I think it looks pretty similar in size to the rest of them, so I'm just going to leave it how it is. And I'm going to do it again with the next stitch. I'm going to put the top ponytail into 2 pieces, put it over her shoulder, bring this ponytail up. Can I have an elastic?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. And then bring these 2 back down.
Oh, yeah.
and hold and secure. I think I'm gonna go about there.
Oh,
So
nice
we're
that
gonna
one.
do that.
I'll pick these up on your turn.
Just like that. So now I'm going to pull it apart. I can already see that this is already going to be bigger, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull that ponytail a little bit. And pancake. There you go. There is
Can I
your
show them?
next pull through stitch. What?
Can I show them what I'm doing?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, come here.
Okay.
Take a bobby pin. So she has this magnetic bobby wacky thing we do. Let's do the bobby pin Olympics. Good.
Wow.
Okay, watch me do it.
She's better at this Olympic sport.
Sam.
Okay. Okay, so next what we're going to do is I really want to be in a way that you can have good lighting there. Let me spin you just a wee bit. There we go. So again, we're going to split the top section into two. Bring the bottom ponytail through. And now a lot of times when you do pull through braids, you'll realize that one ponytail is definitely thicker than the other one. That's totally fine. That's just because of the way you stitch the top part. That it kind of plays into how well you're pancaking it, and that's kind of how you can mimic the same thickness of the thicker ponytail than the smaller one. So at this point, it's a little too short to go over the shoulder, so I'm just gonna kind of, you know, hold it over one of my hands while the other hand is securing the ponytail underneath it. So I kind of do one loop like that, flip it over, another loop like that, flip it over, another loop like this, and then flip it over. And that's just kind of how I do it when I don't necessarily want or have a clip at hand. I also don't want to put a clip on these very beautiful pancake sections, you know? So again, we're going to split it in half. Okay, so this is where I'm going to kind of adjust the camera because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to do one loop, so that's one. I'm going to twist it, I'm going to do another loop, and depending with how big your elastic is, you can do 3 or just 2. And then at this point, when I twist it, instead of just doing this, I'm going to bring that top ponytail in and then do the rest of my ponytail twisting with that ponytail in there too. And what this does is just kind of, obviously, just joins together those two ponytails so it just looks like it ends like this. And you don't have to use extra elastics, it's just quicker and looks less chunky and weird at the end of your pull through braid. So I'm gonna pull this apart. Can even pull a little bit on this middle ponytail here we have. There we go. You can add hairspray as you need. I'm going to grab my hairspray. You know, right here, just kind of give it a nice mist. Still want it to look really nice and boho looking. But there's a difference between boho and flyaways. And flyaways is no bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno. Across the camera again, get this side. And there you have your extremely beautiful big pull through braid. Look side to side for me. Again, really nice. Put your chin down. Look at how nice that looks. Yeah, so I'm gonna spin you around. Showstopper. Okay, so that is all we have today for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any requests, please comment below. If you have any questions about things that I did in this video that you don't really quite understand, please also ask me. Don't hesitate to DM me or to comment below, and I'll be able to answer all your comments and all your DMs. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll
Isn't
see you
she
next
pretty?
week.